Welcome back to the information station, where we provide information that can help change your situation to empower you to have your very own motivation. Once again, my name is Shahid, and thank you for joining me. Now, let's get into this topic. We men are constantly asking more and more and more of women. We want women to do more and more. Women aren't taking care of this right. Women aren't taking care of that right. And women need to know how to raise their sons and raise their daughters. Okay. Now, understand, the more we keep demanding of women, the more we are changing who they naturally are. I don't think y'all really realize this. The problem that we have today, the problem that y'all are complaining about on all platforms, that women don't listen. You can't tell them anything. They think they're the leader. They know it all. Where do you think that comes from? What do you think that comes from? That comes from them being head of household. That comes from them rising to the position that they have been put in, playing the hand they were dealt. They didn't ask to be leaders of the household. They had to be. They didn't ask to raise their sons by themselves. They had to. They didn't ask to raise their daughters by themselves. But y'all don't realize that the more and more you keep demanding of her, the more you are changing who she is naturally. You see, where we are today with the masculinity of women, okay, with the dominating mentalities of women, that's because they've been left in a position to have to become something that they're not. But y'all keep demanding more and more and more and more of them. You better be careful what you ask for. You better be careful what you ask for. Because I'm telling you, women are going to continue to rise to that occasion. You want them to know how to raise sons? Guess what? Eventually, they'll figure it out. But you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. You are literally creating a monster. You are literally creating a Frankenstein right in front of your face, and you can't even see it. Because it's in a person's nature to try to figure out what it is, the environment you put them in. Listen, when we look at a lion, you can take a lion out of his natural habitat, or an elephant out of his natural habitat, and then you can start to domesticate them. This is what they do when they take them and put them in zoos. Now that lion starts to depend on you for his food. That elephant depends on you for his movements. You see, so now that you have put them in this position, now they become domesticated. They are no longer what they once were. You're changing who they are. And in a bit, if you were to take that lion and put him back into the wild, along with that elephant, they wouldn't survive. They wouldn't survive. Because now you have changed their molecular structure of who they are. What do you think you are doing to women? Every time you ask them to rise up, every time you ask them to be this and to be that and to be better this and better that, y'all don't realize what you're doing. And I can't understand why you can't see it. Why do you think we are having the problem that we're having today? Why do you think they're so boisterous? Why do you think they're so protective? Why do you think they're so outspoken? Because you put them in that position. You put them in a position to handle everything on their own. You put them in a position to have to figure it all out. And guess what? Just like when you domesticate the animal, it's going to be strange to them in the beginning, but then they'll start to figure it out. And once they figure it out, they are no longer what they once were. You got to hear this, and you got to understand this. It's not hard to see if you look at it. Why do you think we have what we have today? Because they've been left alone to be single mothers, to be single parents, forget about parents, just to be single women, just to be head of household, whether they have kids or don't have kids. They are out here trying to figure it out by themselves. That's not what the Creator designed them to do. They weren't designed to figure it all out. But being put in that position, and y'all continue to put that responsibility on them, they're going to figure it out. They are going to figure it out, but you're not going to like it. They're going to figure it out. You're not going to like the outcome. Once women figure out how to raise sons into men, you're not going to like it, because you will become more divided. You'll become more divided. You think you're divided today? You think we're having a problem now? Y'all have no clue what's to come. You have no clue what's to come, because you are destroying women. You are literally creating Frankensteins. But then once they become that from the position we as men put on them, don't get mad. Don't get upset, fellas. Don't get upset, fellas. If we don't take our position, if we don't take our roles to take that burden off of them, we are going to continue to be lost. There will be more and more single family homes. There will be more and more emasculated women. Fellas, they in the gym now lifting the same weight you lifting. They're aggressive, boisterous, outspoken, damn near intimidating. It's not their fault. They've been put in the position. Every time they are in the environment of men, every time women have to go to the car dealer to buy a car, every time women have to go to the mechanic, every time she have to take her child to the barbershop, every time she have to go handle these things, she's in a cage full of wolves. And she understands she's the prey. And you don't expect her to be assertive, outspoken. You don't expect her to have to defend herself, knowing that she is sexualized by every man damn near she come in contact with since she's been the age of 8. Hear me. Hear me. Women have to worry about things that men have no clue of. We don't have no clue. Every time a man holds the door for a woman has to be on guard. Every time a man say, let me help you with your groceries, she has to be on guard. Can I help you carry those bags? Guess what? She can use your help because she's tired. What she don't need is the advancements. What she don't need is the catcalls. What she don't need is the harassment. And then on top of all that, she has to be fearful that if she rejects the person, how are they going to respond? Fellas, do you hear me? We have put them in a position that they were not designed to be in. And you keep asking them to do more. You keep asking more of them. What more can she do? A woman's job never ends. Her job never ends. When she get off work, she don't have the luxury of coming home, putting on a video game. Ha! Talk to me. She don't have the luxury of coming in the house and kicking her feet up and sitting back and watching television all night. She don't have that luxury. She got to check the homework. She got to get dinner started. She got to make sure the kids' clothes are clean. She got to make sure the wash is done. Dude, do y'all see what y'all doing? And you know what? Like I said, on this show, in order for me to bring you this information, I have to live a righteous life. I have to live a righteous life. I have to make sure that I am totally transparent when it comes to speaking, when it comes to teaching. You see, I had to get to this place. I had to get to the place where I can live righteous, where I can speak objectively. You know what? I tell people all the time. To me, this is my definition. When you have love, the definition of love is when you have the other person's best interests, even if it does not benefit you. So if I tell a woman, never let a man put his hands on you, guess what? I'm talking about me too. When I tell my daughters, don't let men talk to you disrespectfully, don't let men downgrade you, that means me as well as being your father. I'm included. In order to teach, you can't give one-sided information. You can't talk in the best interest of yourself. And we act like we don't see what women do. We act like, I don't know if y'all been in relationships, but I've been in several. And you will never hear me downgrade any of the women that I've been involved with. You will never hear me talk ill of the women that I've been involved with. They are respected to the utmost. They are respected to the rim. You know why? Because they are a reflection of me. I hear guys all the time downgrade, talk about their women, talk about how she ain't this and she ain't that, and this, and calling her all these 4-letter words, and this be this and this be that. Wow. What does that say about your choices? They think they're talking to me, downgrading their ex, but they don't realize I'm looking at them like clowns. I'm looking at them. When all you got is horror stories of the women you dated. And even if the relationship does not work out between you and a woman, you still should leave that woman better off when you leave than when you came. Did you hear me? When you leave a relationship, you need to leave that woman full and not empty. You have to have put something into her mentally. She has to walk away from there knowing a lot more than she knew before she met you. But fellas, look at what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you keep demanding more and more and more of women, and you keep saying women need to understand, women need to understand, women need to understand. You know what? Just like when you went to, this is just a comparison. Okay. Don't get upset at the comparison, but I got to give it. Okay. When you tell your dog something, your dog look at you. He give you that side look like he's trying to figure out what you're saying. and you're giving a command and they're just looking at you like they don't get what you're saying. And the more and more you demanded them to get what you're saying, the more and more you're causing confusion. You're causing confusion within that woman. I remember when I was younger. When I was younger, I was such an idiot. I would go back and forth with my lady at that time. And if we had an argument, say that morning, when I came home that evening, or when we finally got a chance to sit down, I wanted to intellectually, spar. I wanted to intellectually discuss, because that's the type of person I've always been. That's a man. A man wants to talk intellectually. Let me tell you something. I used to get frustrated as hell whenever we would have a disagreement or a problem. My lady would always come back and she would come in the room with lingerie. She would come in the room, after she get out that bubble bath, and she will be oiled up, and she'll come out with some heels on and lingerie, and she'll come and she want to snuggle and she want to lay on me. And I'm looking at her like, what the hell is you doing? This is how you solve the problem? This is how you fix the problem? You got to be kidding me. You did this, and this, and then now we didn't even resolve the issue, and this is how you come in here? Oh my God. I was such an idiot because I didn't understand the nature of a woman. I did not understand the nature of a woman. Fellas, let me tell you something. She was operating in her nature. She was feminine. It wasn't her way to sit and want to necessarily intellectually spar. I almost said something else. That wasn't her way to sit down and want to intellectually spar with me and go break it down to the last compound and go word for word, blow for blow. That wasn't her way. Her way was to be submissive. And I would get frustrated and angry. Oh, don't come in here hugging on me. Don't come in here kissing on me. What's wrong with you? After what we just went through this afternoon, all you got is to come back in here and hug and kiss on me? Yes. Yes. That's what she does. She's not us, fellas. That's what she does. She comes back and she wants to be affectionate. Allow her to be that. You ever notice that when you, oh man, I hope y'all don't get upset with my examples, but it's just so perfect. You ever notice that when you come at your dog, how they'll lay down and put their head down and then they'll roll on their back and put both hands up on their back? Totally submitting. A lot of times, I don't know if y'all guys have experienced this, but whenever I would have an argument on the phone with one of the ladies that I was with at the time, and whenever we would have a conflict and she would send me a picture of her, it was always of her laying down on her back with holding her phone or the camera up, taking a picture of her. And I began to look at it, and I noticed that every time we had a conflict, or every time the conversation didn't end well, she would send me a picture like that. Now, not even known to her, what she was doing or why she did it. But it was always a submissive position. It was her way of saying, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to argue anymore. You see, I'm trying to get you to see you don't have to keep asking women to understand you. Maybe it's time that you need to understand women. How about that? How about that, fellas? Maybe it's time you need to understand them. Maybe we need to pay attention more. You don't understand and you don't get it. The more you demand of her, the more you are creating a Frankenstein. The more you keep asking her to step up and do, the more you're changing who she naturally is. Understand that. We're going to definitely dive more into this. Okay, I don't want to make the videos too long, but we're going to definitely go deeper into this because y'all have to understand this. It is not always them that have to make the changes. Stop demanding so much of women because you're going to be left with something that you don't like. And the divide that we have today is going to get wider and wider and wider because they're going to become more and more a shell of their naturally designed selves. Once again, my name is Shahid. Thank you for joining me. Click here if you want to see more. Look forward to you, and I appreciate you.